Alright, so in this episode, we're not actually playing the game, but I figured I'd give you an update, little update on some of the things I've found out talking to people on the forums, even if there hasn't been a whole lot of activity, um, and just some information, updated information. So, first of all, um, from what I hear from the dev team, they are looking pretty hard. They're looking pretty hard to try and find a new hosting service for our forums. WordPress has been giving us problems for a while. You know, WordPress isn't really good right now. They've been trying to from what I understand, they've been removing features from the free to use part of their site, and so they're and moving them into the pay. So you have into the pay part of the site. So you have to pay in order to access features that were easily accessible before. In addition, our own site, the owner of the site, got kicked out and couldn't access it. I myself have had once or twice where I wasn't able whether I wasn't able to post a comment on the forums because it wasn't letting me. And there's also been a lot of issues with people not being able to sign up, which is a pretty big issue, really big issue actually. But so the standard, if we're going to keep using WordPress, we have to renew on December 21st. And I know that the community really doesn't want to do that, and from what I've heard, the devs really don't want to renew either. So they're trying really hard to find a new hosting service so that we can host our forums there and have a better experience with the community. So hopefully that will turn out all right. We'll be able to move soon enough. Secondly, there has been a lot of progress being made on the game. Most of that is behind the scenes, and so I haven't been able to see any of it. Screenshot we're currently looking at is one of the new developments that's going to go into the new release of the game, and so I'm going to go over that later. But Modern Knight and the rest of his team, Orazio, Jeffrey, they've all been working on the game quite hard, and so there hasn't been a lot of there hasn't been a lot of stuff going on the forums lately, and I think part of that's because they're so busy. But they do. Modern Knight is really busy, so he usually doesn't come on much at the moment, but Jeffrey's usually on working out bugs. There has been a slight update to the current version of the game that Jeffrey came out with. There was an update he added to the engine to fix a bug when going underwater and then coming back up and everything getting screwed up in the graphics. And he's also included a new update for that affects shopkeepers and businesses so basically what often happens in the game is that you'll go to a shop to try and buy or sell something, and the shopkeeper will say, "Oh, I'm busy with someone else, come back another day." Or you'll go into the tavern to try and recruit some sailors, and the tavern keeper will say, "Oh no, they all sailed away with brave Captain so and so." And so I don't know if I'm pretty sure there hasn't been a fix for the sailors all leaving, but that's not a hugely game breaking issue. What could be considered game breaking is the shopkeepers and the smugglers, because generally it can take a long time to get their attention where they're not busy, and that can often make you overrun on like cargo carrying quests and stuff like that. So there was a fix that was incorporated that will hopefully that has two features. First, it's supposed to make the busy services happen less often. So you're not gonna run into you'll still run into busy services like a shopkeeper saying, "Oh, I'm busy, come back another day," but it won't be happening near as often. I haven't actually tested that one yet. There's also another feature that allows you to go into the options menu and completely turn off busy services, so that the services are always available. So that's a real improvement, and so uh, if you do want to get that, just go to the download page, and you don't have to re-download the entire game. You just have to download the engine update and the update zip files. So engineupdate.zip and update.zip. Download both of those and apply them. Unzip them, and just copy everything into your game folder. Um, Overwrite anything that it asks you to overwrite, and you should be good. So yeah, that's good. That's great. There is a lot of well, Mortal. I'm sorry, I keep wanting to call him Mortal Knight. Modern Knight and his team are also working on a new version of the game that is going to, from what I understand, eventually be available to the public at large. But until that point in time, it's actually going to be kind of a limited release to participating members of the forums. And so I actually did do some stuff for Modern Knight, and not anything that actually really affected the game, but I just did a couple things, and so I was able to get two things. So one, I did a little side project for Modern Knight, good grief, for Modern Knight, and so I got my own. So I got a reward for that, and I'll go over that in a little bit. But I got a copy of the game because I posted quite a long list of, it was like 20 or so different, it was roughly about 20 or so different topics detail that I was going over in how to possibly make the game better, improvements that could be made, tweaks and fixes, maybe new content that could be added, that kind of thing. And so that netted me a copy of the new download of that netted me a copy of the new version when it comes out. So just to clarify, this new version that is coming out is not going to be available to the public at large. It's only going to be limited to certain members of the community who have been participating, and so yeah, the more you participate on the forums, the more chance you have of getting a copy of the game. And Modern Knight and his team and the other guys, they're really great guys, really helpful. Great community so far. So the new release is going to have new content. There's going to be some new ships. Depending on what happens, it could have new islands that aren't already in the game. So, as we go along, the team is wanting to add is going to be adding new islands and new locations. So there's going to be whole new islands and there's going to be a bigger map as well, if I remember correctly. Because if I remember correctly, they're going to be doing a much larger map that actually includes the southernmost tip of Florida, and actually some of the east coast of South America. So there's going to be a lot, and there's going to be a lot more islands as well. So, so that's great. So there's going to be a lot of new content in the new release that I'm really excited about. So also important to note is that they have pretty much the team has pretty much ended their legal review, and they have confirmation that they can call this their own game, I guess, to a certain extent. I'm not terribly educated on this. on this whole topic, so don't take anything I say as what's actually happening. But from what I understand, what I know, this started out as a mod, but they've done a legal review, and it's actually come back saying that they can market their own content for this game as paid content. So what I understand they're going to do is they're going to have kind of like a core game that's free to download, and that's going to include the base game and everything. So you can basically download the core game Gentlemen of Fortune for free and play it as is. At least that's my understanding. But you're not going to get everything, and so there's going to be a lot of new ships, new maybe new weapons, new new missions and stuff like that in paid content packages, kind of like add-ons, I guess, is what I'm guessing they're going to do. So you're going to have the core game for free, and then in order to get a lot of the extra content like new ships, new weapons, new characters, new new treasures, new missions, new features, all that kind of stuff, then you're going to have to buy these add-on packs for the game, and so they've got some really cool stuff in mind. Like one of their first paid content add-ons is going to be kind of a historical battle system, where you can basically recreate historical battles from this time period, such as Blackbeard's duel with Lieutenant Maynard in Ocracoke Inlet, or Bartholomew Roberts' battle against the HMS Swallow, where he was killed, that kind of thing. And so basically you'll be able to select either side. So in Blackbeard's case, you could play as either Blackbeard or Lieutenant Maynard. And then you would fight it out between your two forces, and then when you win, you'll get the option to take the character that you just played as, along with all of the loot and ships and stuff that they captured and had in that game, in that battle, and take them into the open world game that you've seen in the previous videos. And so in that way you'll be able to start at a higher level than you would be able to if you just started the open world game from scratch, and so that's considering everything, that's kind of a great option for people who don't have a lot of time to play video games because they're busy with life or other stuff. And so because what it does, it allows players who don't have a lot of time or just want to start at a higher level to start at that higher level, and to enter the open world game at a higher level, which allows them to start going out on quests and doing and capturing ships and going privateering and stuff like that from an earlier level, without having to go through a lot of the tedious merchanteering and stuff like that you see that you've seen me going through in the previous videos. So yeah, that's one of the first paid content that they've been wanting to do, and I think they're going to have like 9 or 10 different. I think they're kind of planning for 10 different historical battles to be in that first package, from what I understand. Yeah, I think so. Anyways, so there's that. What other news is there? Yeah, so with the paid content, now their league reviews ended. They're starting to split the game into its free and paid content versions. So there's going to be that happening in the near future. So yeah, I'm actually going to tell you about this. So this screenshot is of a new ship that's going to, I'm pretty sure it's a new ship that's going to be arriving in the next update to the game, which, as I said, is a limited release. And so this is actually for a character, for a specific character. This is actually a kind of this paint scheme is going to be used by the paint scheme. Bleh. This is the paint scheme that's going to be used by this. This is going to be the starting ship for one of the new characters that's going to appear. So there are going to be some new actual historical characters appearing in the game as well. But Jeffrey and myself also got custom characters added to this new version. And so Jeffrey got that because he's a member of the development team, so he obviously deserves it. I got it as I got that. I got my character, my custom character, and the custom ship skin as part of a reward, as basically my reward for performing a side kind of a side task for side mission for Modern Knight that didn't really have a whole lot to do with the game, but and he was pretty generous and allowed me to get my own custom character that I can actually play as. So like whereas I've been playing as Nicholas Van Horn in my previous videos, I can now play as my own character with and this is the ship that I'll be starting with, that character will be starting with, and this is also the ship skin for that character. I don't know if it's going to be a custom ship skin specific to that character or if it's going to be available on ships, sailing around in the open world, but this is an image of it on this. Excuse me, got the hiccups. So this is the ship under full sail, and this is another image of the ship, which gives you kind of a better side view of the ship. The sail, and so you get a really nice look at the rigging, and you also get kind of a slightly better look at the paint job. And so I will say that this particular paint scheme is based off of the one used on the Standard, I believe that's how you pronounce it, which is a Russian replica ship that is a replica of a frigate, which I believe is from, it's like a frigate or corvette, and I believe the original ship was around during this time period roughly. I think so, but I can't. Don't quote me, but I think it was. And so so this is kind of a borrowed paint scheme from that, or at least inspired by it. So, and then here we have a picture of the stern castle of this particular paint scheme, and this was actually the stern decoration was something I requested. The shield or coat of arms, as it is, with the two foxes bordering it, that was something I personally requested in the decoration. And so the two foxes, I'm just a big fan of foxes, yeah, and I also kind of think that the qualities that the foxes kind of represent, cunning, intelligence, and wit, those kind of work well for a pirate or privateer during this era, because you have to be smart, you have to be pirates back then, we always like to see pirates as being witty like Jack Sparrow, or at least I do, and you have to be cunning enough to trick your target into coming near you, or being able to find your target, stuff like that. And so the shield in the middle is actually from the Chichester coat of arms, which is an English family that I am related to in my distant ancestry. I would have to look it up to remember I don't remember exactly how I'm related off the top of my head. I think it's from my maternal grandfather or grandmother, I think. No. Yeah, I know it's from on my maternal side. It's either, but I can't remember whether it's from my grandmother's or my grandfather's side. But this isn't the entire coat of arms, but the shield is from the Chichester coat of arms, and that was something I personally requested because of my love for foxes and the fact that I hold relations with the Chichester family. So if you look up in the upper left corner, you'll see the image of a character that's actually Modern Knight's character and not mine. So I haven't seen my character yet. So, but I'm really excited for when I do. Yeah, so my character is actually based on another one of my ancestors from, I don't remember which side, but they were born around the time period of this game. They would have been alive around the time period of this game, and they were actually Danish. So I went by the name Svendsen, Svendsен, Svendsen. Can't remember the first name. I think I chose to name my character Vincent Svendsen, and so he's actually a Danish character. I don't know what kind of backstory Modern Knight's going to use for him, but it'll be pretty cool to see. So, besides all of that, that's most of what I can remember that I wanted to talk about in this update. So, yeah, a lot of progress being made on the game and on other fronts for the community. Really looking forward to, the progress we make as we go ahead, and so yeah, and I hope you guys will, be able to join our community, and once we get to our new forums, and you'll be able to enjoy the game more with the new updates, and so here's hoping you guys will be able to enjoy the game, and hopefully join our new and improved forums later on, so that we can actually hopefully expand our community a bit. So yeah, this is Vincent, and I'll see you later.